All right, today I'm presenting you a very instructive game, a game like no other. And in this position, I was with the black pieces up against an international master from Croatia, Goran Djuorovic. And this game is a game unlike any other. This game, it has to get the best game prize for 2024, 100%. If not, I was robbed, it was rigged, and they didn't choose it correctly. But this is the game of 2024 right here. So I bring to you this position here. Now, everyone knows me from my chessable courses. They know my best content. They know that I always bring some good things to the table here. But in this position, what will you do? So here, to explain things, first of all, the white bishop, it's biting on granite here. My d5 pawn is very solid, and the bishop is not doing anything here. However, I realize that my bishop as well is looking into these pawns, and even though I have the bishop pair, my dark squared bishop is a bit limited by his pawns. He wants to bring his knight to d3, and he will slowly play with b4 and a4. So I now came up with a brilliant move. I played the best move here, pawn to h5. What? Didn't they say not to move the pawns in front of your king? However, the reason behind this is that I am starting a semi sort of attack on his king, and his knight has just moved away from the protection of the king. So actually, I have more pieces pointing towards his king, and he is just going away with his defenders. And after knight to d3, I struck with pawn to h4. Again, my bishop now is getting opened. He played rook to e1, and I simply developed with bishop to f5, just getting my pieces in the game, taking control over the center. Now in chess, central control is very important. The guy played pawn to f4. During the game when he played this move, I was like, what on earth is this guy doing? How can you play an ugly move like that? Just giving me full control of the e4 square, the g4 square. However, it was actually not a bad move because it closes my bishop. It gets him the e5 square. So it was actually not such a bad move. I took on g3 and I played knight to g4, immediately forcing pressure on the e3 pawn, asking the guy to make a decision. He played pawn to e4, attacking my bishop, and I paused here for a moment. I said, Alan, do I really need to take that pawn? And the thing in chess is, you should never rush your moves. There's no such thing as he makes a move and you have to immediately react. No, 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 no. In chess, you always take your time. You think on every move. You have many different options. At the end of the day, if your opponent is playing fast, that is his problem. Let him play fast. He's an idiot. But we will sit, we will take our time, and we will analyze the position as smart, brilliant chess players. So here, I found the move, queen to b6, leaving my bishop on the attack. And the idea is that if he takes my bishop, I take on d4 with check to his king. He has two moves. If king to f1, knight to h2 is a very nice checkmate. The king here is out of business. And if he plays king to h1, I can simply play rook takes e1, and he cannot take with the knight due to knight f2 check, winning the queen. And if he takes with the queen, simply I play queen captures d3, and I win back the piece, and his position is falling apart. He played queen to a4, a very strange move. The guy again is bringing all his pieces away from his king. The queen stands very funnily here. Okay, now I took on e4, he recaptured, and I played a brilliant move here. Now in chess, a very important topic is tension. If I take on e4, his knight gets improved to the center. So I didn't want to retreat my bishop. My bishop is standing well on f5. I found a brilliant move, knight to h6. The idea is that if he takes my bishop, My knight brilliantly comes on f5, attacking g3 and d4, and his position will immediately collapse. He played king to g2. Again, when you're not sure what to do, you must always bring in all your forces. Now, my first trainer, he taught me a very instructive system called the HIV method. And this method, he passed it on to me. When you are attacking in chess, you should first look for the holes, then you infiltrate, and then you strike with violence. HIV. My trainer, he passed on the HIV method to me. He gave it to me, and he told me, Alan, I want you to spread the HIV method to your students. And here, that's exactly what I'm doing. So you have to look at the holes in this position. He has like d4 as a weakness, this e3, all these positions. Even the light squares are looking, he has many holes in the position. But first, I simply develop my rook, bringing the forces into the game. And after he played pawn to d5, I just simply retreated my bishop, opening the scope of the rook. And now his position is falling apart. You can see he has too many holes, too many loose pieces, and I am slowly infiltrating. And after rook a to d1, I could have simply taken on d5, but I felt like Kasparov. I felt rook captures e4. That is a big move. The idea is if he takes with the knight, I will recapture, and I have a pawn and a bishop for the exchange. However, look at his king. All the light squares are weak, and I have great compensation, and I think black is much better. My knight will come to g4. My queen is eyeing here, and the b2 pawn. I mean, I think it's very hard for him here. He took with the rook, and simply I recaptured on d5. And he played rook to e8, and I played a brilliant backward move, bishop to d7, attacking the queen and the rook. And this forced him to sacrifice his rook with check. I took back on f8 with the king, and after queen to a3 check, simply move the king. And after queen to c5, I missed the best move here. I played a okay move, a technical move, but I missed a much stronger move. Here, the move queen to e6 is exactly making use of the HIV principle, realizing that he has these holes in his position, and now the queen comes to h3 next with devastating effect. Now, the rest of the game is not too important. I will just show you the last critical moment. So, some moves were played. I am up a pawn here, but it's not that easy. I improve my king. I improve my knight. And slowly I regroup my pieces to defend the pawn here. I improve my bishop attacking here. I improve the king. The king came out. I broke in the king side, and he sacrificed this pawn. It's not that important. And the last critical moment is that here his rook got trapped with knight to c8. He took on e6, and the game continued for a very long time. However, I managed to win this. Now, you learn so much from this game. You are getting this free premium instruction here, but I have my knowledge. I am passing it on to you.